Hey, so in today's lesson, we are looking at 40 common phrases and questions that you can use to make great small talk in English. Now, if you missed part 1 of this lesson, make sure that you check it out. I will link it here and down below in the description box for you. As well, there is a blog post on my website, englishetc.com, to go along with today's lesson. So you can reread it, make notes, and revisit any of the points that we talk about in this lesson. I'll also link that down below for you. So let's get started. All right, so here are some greetings to get your conversation started. Nice to meet you, Julie. Nice to meet you, James. Nice to meet you, Mr. Brown, is always a nice greeting for the first time that you are meeting someone. If you've met the person before, you can say, "Hey, Julie, great to see you again," or "Nice to see you again." So the very first time you meet someone, you use the verb meet, and every time after that, you can use the verb see. Okay, so nice to meet you the first time, and nice to see you the second and the third and the fourth time, and every time after that. And notice here that I've mentioned using the person's name. This is always a nice touch. It makes people feel like you care about them, and it makes people feel like you haven't forgotten their name. So use their name whenever you can. If you ask, "How have you been?" this is great for someone that you've met before, okay? So how have you been? Basically, since the last time that I saw you. Long time no see is a nice phrase if you've met someone before and you haven't seen them in a really long time. You can also ask, "What's new with you?" or "How's it going?" Now, number 5 and number 6 are very informal, very conversational. They are appropriate for social situations, okay? So what's new with you? How's it going? These two are informal. So after your greeting, you're going to want to ask some questions to make small talk. So here are some options. How was your day? Or how has your day been so far? How was your day is a past tense question, and you can ask this later in the day, in the evening when the day is almost over. How has your day been so far is a present perfect question, so you can ask this question when the day is not over yet, in the afternoon or in the late morning if you're talking to someone. Another option is, have you been to this event or this location before? So if you happen to be at an event, let's say a conference, you can say, have you been to this conference before, or is it your first time here? Do you come here often, or do you come to these events often? Again, if you are at an event, if you are at a location for something special, this is a good question to ask. Now, what do you do? What do you do is one of the most common small talk questions. And this question means, what do you do for work? What is your job? What is your profession? And how has work been? Number 11 is a nice follow-up question to number 10, okay? So number 10, what do you do? Or what is your job? What kind of work do you do? And number 11, how has work been lately? Or how has work been this year or recently? Okay, let's look at some more questions that you can ask. How do you know the host of the event that you are at? So this is a nice question if you happen to be at a social event, at a party, at a barbecue, at a dinner, or at a smaller event where everyone probably knows the host, or everyone probably knows the event organizer. So imagine you and I are at a dinner party and the host is James. And you meet me there and you say, "How do you know James?" Then we can continue our conversation from there, okay? So how do you know the host or the organizer of this event? Are you from the area, or do you live around here? Now, this is a more general way of saying, where do you live? Where do you live is quite a direct question, and sometimes people don't want to tell you exactly where they live, or they don't want to give you their address or tell you their neighborhood. So are you from the area, or do you live around here is just a more general way, and the person can give you as much or as little detail as they want. The next question is, what do you think of the event or the conference so far? So this is another nice question if you happen to be at an event that is maybe a full day event, or even an event that happens over a few days. This is a nice option. Did you catch the Super Bowl? Did you catch the Oscars? Or did you catch this major event? Now, did you catch means did you see or did you watch? And we use this for a very big television event that most people watch. So, for example, the Super Bowl and the Oscars is an award show that are very popular in America. And if these were on television the day before, the night before, or that weekend, you can ask, did you catch the Super Bowl? It means, did you watch the Super Bowl? So be careful with this one. You have to use it to talk about big events on TV that most people have probably watched, okay? So this applies when you know that the person has probably seen this event or probably watched this event on TV. You can also ask, have you heard news about something? Okay, have you heard news about something? So, for example, during the COVID-19 pandemic, there have been many travel restrictions, and they're always changing. So, you can say, have you heard about the latest travel restrictions? Okay. So a few more questions that you can ask. Do you have any plans for the holidays? Do you have any plans for the long weekend? If there is a holiday coming up, a long weekend, or even a normal weekend, you can always ask if the person has plans for the weekend. How was your trip? If they have been on a trip lately, a business trip, a vacation, you can ask, how was your trip? How is your family? Okay, so this question you can ask if you know about the person's family or if you've met them before. If it's your first time meeting someone, this question doesn't make too much sense because you don't know their family. So only if you've met the person's family or you know about them or you've heard about them before, then you can ask about their family. Another question, how long have you been with your company? How long have you been in your industry? So if you're having a conversation about work, this is also a nice follow-up question. Or how did you get into your industry? How did you get into your industry? Now, this question means why did you choose this profession or how did you start working in this field? So this is, again, a nice follow-up question about work. If you are getting deeper into the topic of work, this is a nice question to ask. So you wouldn't start off with this question. You would start off by asking, what do you do? How long have you been with your company? And then this might be a nice third follow-up question if you're talking about work. Okay. Compliments. Now, compliments are a great option as well. For example, great job on your presentation, great job on your speech. You can also say you look great, or I love your hair, your jacket, your glasses. Okay, I want you to look closely at number 23 and number 24. You need to be careful when you are complimenting someone on their physical appearance because it might make them uncomfortable. So generally speaking, I would not compliment someone on their appearance the first time that you meet them, okay? But let's say you've met the person a couple times and maybe they have a new haircut, maybe they have new glasses, and it's something noticeably different. You can give them a compliment on that. But I wouldn't recommend giving a compliment on the way someone looks the very first time that you meet them because it can make them self-conscious. It can make them uncomfortable. But compliments are great if you want to compliment someone on work that they have done, like a presentation, like a speech, or if you know them and they've changed something about their appearance and you know that they would be comfortable with this compliment, then it's okay. All right. And if you are talking to someone, it's important to respond to them, not just ask questions and get answers. You need to respond and you need to show interest. So here are some phrases to help you do that. Wow, really? This phrase is very, very versatile. You can use it if someone gives you good news. You can use it if someone's telling you a story. You can just say, wow, really? It's like, wow, that's interesting. I'm curious, what do you think about? So if you want to ask someone's opinion, this is a nice phrase to start. I'm curious, what do you think about this new policy? What do you think about this new law? What do you think about this new regulation? All right? Yeah, I can relate, or yeah, I hear you. Now, these two just mean I understand and I feel the same way. I can relate, I hear you. I hear you is informal. It's good for social and casual situations. I hear you, okay? So, for example, if I say, working online has really been an adjustment this last year, you can say, yeah, I hear you. I feel the same way. Okay, another option is that's great, that's awesome, that's amazing. And this is in response to good news if someone gives you good news. Congratulations on your new job, congratulations on your promotion, congratulations on the project or on your new baby. So this is good for personal or professional accomplishments. I'm so happy to hear that. Again, a response to good news. That's a shame. This is a response to bad news. So if someone has lost their job, not been awarded a project that they wanted, maybe a trip has been canceled, you can say that's a shame. That must have been amazing. That must have been tough. So you can change the adjective here. Now, this is one of my favorite phrases for responding to people because it shows empathy. It shows that you can put yourself in their position and you can imagine how they must feel in a certain situation. So I personally use this one a lot. And again, you can change the adjective to anything you want for good or bad situations. So let me give you an example. Imagine that someone tells you, I've been looking for a job for the past year and I still haven't found one and it's so frustrating. You can say, okay, that must be difficult. That must be tough. All right. Let's say someone tells you about an amazing trip that they just went on. You can say, wow, that must have been amazing. That must have been incredible. Okay. So this one is my personal favorite. Speaking of a certain topic, have you heard about this? Okay, so for example, speaking of travel, have you heard about this new travel agency? Speaking about this food, have you heard about this new restaurant? Okay, this one's really versatile as well. You can use it to introduce a new topic into the conversation. Or I'm sorry to hear that. So I'm sorry to hear that is again in response to bad news. Okay, and if you want to end your conversation, you can say, it's been great chatting with you. Now, this is kind of closing the conversation. You're not inviting the person to meet again. So let's say that you don't necessarily want to talk to the person again or continue the conversation. You can just say, it's been great chatting with you. Or it was nice to meet you. Have a good day. Have a good weekend. Have a good night. Okay. So these two, it's been great chatting with you. It was nice to meet you. Have a good day. Is just kind of like bye. You're not saying that you want to continue the conversation. You're sort of just ending the conversation politely where it is. Okay, it's been great talking to you. Enjoy the event. This is another way to just end the conversation, send the person away. You're not necessarily going to talk to them or see them again. We should get together soon and let's catch up soon. So these last two, 39 and 40, you can say this if you intend or plan or hope to see the person again or to talk to the person again. All right, so we should catch up soon. We should get together soon. We should meet up soon. It shows that you hope to talk to this person again. Okay, so you don't have to say this if you don't want to talk to them. People do say it. Sometimes people just say it and they don't mean it. But I would recommend saying it if you actually do mean it. So there you have it, 40 fantastic phrases to help you make great small talk in your English conversations. Now, I just want to remind you that small talk is not one size fits all. So you do have to sometimes make adjustments to these phrases and to these questions depending on the situation you're in and depending on the person that you are speaking to. So always keep that in mind. If you want to master small talk in professional situations, make sure you check out my Essential English for Business course. The link is in the description down below. As always, thank you so much for watching and for learning with me, and I'll see you soon in the next one.